launch. I think that would be the right way to do that. Astra is looking to launch, it's not tomorrow, it's Friday. No, the 19th. So, yeah, Friday, early Friday morning. So, kind of tomorrow, but kind of not, depending on what your sleep schedule is. Anyway, speaking of rocket launches, we have an SSDO mission to do. Let's see if we can get paid. Large SSDO mission. This is mission mode. Mode part 241. And don't forget, guys, after we're done doing that mission, we got after hours. That's right. We got after hours. I brought it back because I freaking felt like it. And guess what else? My summer car is on the table for after hours. So that's gonna be fun. So, still got plenty of stream left here. Easily another 3 to 4 hours of stream, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed the rocket launch coverage, but now we're going to jump into KSP. Rocket Lab stream is talking.
On its journey to orbit, we received confirmation of the first stage splashdown. We haven't been able to bring you live footage of the first stage descent from the helicopter, but we will keep you posted on today's recovery efforts via our social media channels. Meanwhile, the kick stage has completed its first pass of Earth in an elliptical orbit, and we're now waiting for its Curie engine to ignite and position it into a circular orbit, where we will drop off the 2 Black Sky satellites. For this mission, we've introduced a new deployment process with an adapted kick stage that will see 3 separation events take place. We've mounted a structure to the kick stage called a top hat, which acts as an extension of the upper stage to allow the 2 Black Sky satellites to fit within electron-sparing dimensions. The first Black Sky satellite that sits on top of the top hat will deploy first, before the top hat itself is ejected, followed by the 3rd and final separation event, the deployment of the 2nd Black Sky satellite.
So,
those should happen in quick succession after the upper stage's Curie engine burn. Let's bring up this animated view of that payload deployment and listen into mission control for the callouts.
Animate me, baby. Let's see what we got. This is a very nice animation. Hey! Hey, Ariane Space called. They want their renders back. No, so they have something like Silda on there, actually like Ariane 5. See that the white cylindric section? That pops off. There's another satellite underneath.
Global 14 has deployed successfully.
We have heard confirmation from Mission Control that the first Black Sky satellite has been deployed from the upper stage. That satellite will drift away for a few moments before we eject the top hat adapter, ready to deploy our 2nd satellite.
Satellite, yummy! Cam, don't get any funny ideas. Don't get any funny ideas, fool. We're on to you. I am shocked and outraged.
And the adapter has deployed successfully. Stand by for the final payload.
Yeah, watch. Watch, Tal. See the white part? Watch.
There we go. The top hat has been ejected, clearing the way for the final deployment on this mission of the 2nd Black Sky payload. That should take place in around 30 seconds or so let's wait for the call from our operators.
The Chinese do that, Shukinen. See? The little top hat. The little top hat. There's the 2nd satellite. That's in a decaying orbit. It'll come back down. Black Sky, that's the name of the company. They're observation satellites, guys. It's a telescope.
And Global 15 deployment confirmed.
Okay, that's 2nd sat deploy confirmed from the mission director. We're good.
There's some great news there that the second Black Sky satellite
It's
has
this thing right here,
successfully
though.
deployed by
Discovery,
Electron
go
on
on
this
Flight
Bravo.
sensation.
first InSight
Hashtag after
mission.
hours.
So with both satellites successfully deployed, that complete.
Also, for full turbo, have you ever gone outside at night? What color is the sky? Obviously, it's black. Wrecked.
Thank you and
See, their mission
congratulations to our
control room,
customers, Black
also
Sky
black.
and Space Flight for yet a
It's science, bro. It's science, bro. Earth imaging, S-Master. See last if you can. No. Oh, hey.
and Instagram pages for updates on how we
Oh,
fared
okay,
with
Switch,
Electron's
yeah.
recovery, and of course, all things Rocket Lab. Thank you for joining us. This is Rocket Lab Mission Control signing off.
You're welcome. All right, bye. Kerbal time. Finger time. What was rude about it? She said bye, I said bye. What's I don't understand. You didn't say it like you meant it? And she knows it. What was the Starship presentation all about? It was a Q&A with Elon Musk from the board of the National Academy of Sciences, Jim. There wasn't really anything in there that we didn't know, but there were some cool questions. Yeah, about like fuel depots and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Hey, Zelly, it's your birthday. Hey, happy birthday. All right, the pad is out. Guys, we're jumping right in. So, we got the SSTO ready to go. I have 2 payloads ready to go. 2 payloads. One is a satellite that will deploy, and the other one is something I haven't flown with the SSTO yet. It's called Liberty Lab. Any word on KSP2? Nah, full turbo. They've been releasing periodic update videos because there's a documentary or docuseries being made about the development of the game. And one of those came out like a week ago. Other than that, yeah, they're, Intercept's pretty quiet, but that's not a bad thing. I mean, hopefully that means they're working. Not hopefully, I know that that's what they're doing. What song is this? It's called Escape from LV 426. Well, that's not what I clicked on. Yeah, LV 426. I like the name of this song, huh? Alright, so check this out. There's the satellite up front, right? Satellite up front, and then we have Liberty Lab. The satellite's gonna do 2 missions, alright? But Liberty Lab is a science laboratory that's based off of my Liberty modules, right? And this is the first one that we're gonna fly. What I'm going to do is, load this thing with science, load the science into the lab when it's on orbit, and then we're gonna bring it back down. And then I'm gonna use the payload facility that we had the other day. I'll use the payload facility to pull the payload out. And then I'll put it on a truck or a trailer or something, and we'll have a science lab down here processing science for us. And it'll be processing science at the rate of the location that the science lab was in when we loaded the science into it. So hopefully, I mean, there's kind of an ulterior objective here to be able to grind out science points on the ground here with experiments that were done or loaded into the Liberty Lab when it was up there. So what we got to do, the SSTO is ready to go. This craft file is good to go. Voyager is set to go out for its 3rd mission in recovered state, so where I don't fully reuse it, but I bring it back down and we, recover it. But hopefully with the Liberty Lab thing, I have the payload changeout facility ready to go so we can actually run the first fully reused mission with Voyager where we don't need to recover it at all. Because we've been working on over the past couple of weeks a configurable payload bay here. A payload bay basically where I can put stuff in and take stuff out of with docking ports in it. So that's what we're going to try to do. But the first thing that we have to do is actually go get the science cartridge. We need to make sure that the science is done, that the science is loaded in. Oh, that's good, Thomas. So, first thing that I have to do is go get the science laboratory. Which is out at my storage area. Nice, Bandit. Cool. That's called Iota 1, Slackster. Alright, we gotta go get the science module, which is parked out here. That has a bunch of loaded science experiments in it. We gotta grab the module, load it onto the back of the trailer, and then drive it over to the pad. You missed the Rocket Lab launch, Killer Alpine, not the SSDO launch. I'm getting the science loaded into Liberty Lab here. I'm gonna bring that out to the pad first, and then we're going to then we're gonna get ready. You're a stockholder? Well, this is awkward. Well, the mission was successful. But, yeah, it's awkward that you missed the launch. There's the science cartridge. Pod thing. What song did this be? I've told you the song name now 2 times and linked it in chat. I don't know what more you want. I'll link it in chat again for you. Again. Yeah, it's not going right. Oh, this is the kind of day we're gonna have, huh? Okay, shut that off. This is the kind of day we're gonna have. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, so how about we do this, right? Yeah, okay. All right, there it is, and then we do, I don't know, a little bit of this here or something. There we go. All right, so these things all should be loaded with, yeah, 157 science experiments there and 125. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of science. A while ago, you showed us a NASA intro video with a groovy 80s song. Wondering if you remember what that was. No, I don't really remember the name, dude. I watch a lot of NASA videos. It's called Iota 1 Slackster. There you go. Stop that. No, I'm not gonna stop. Dude, the drums are so funky in this song, and the bass too. Okay, Houston, we are 2 for 2. We deliver. Hey, Chase, sorry. Chase dropped the face. Nice. I'm bringing science over. This is a module, the EJSA R&D module, that has a bunch of collected science from around KSC. I'm going to load that into a science laboratory, because one of the missions that I have is to bring up a new mobile processing facility up there. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to load it up with science, right? We'll load an ESU on the module with science, these experimental containment units, and then I'll load them into the processing laboratory up there to get the highest yield. And then I'll just bring the processing laboratory back down and just take all the science. We'll have a laboratory to farm science down here. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. It's a little bit cheesy, but hey, NASA did the same thing, so whatever. Can I explain that part again? What part? What's the easiest way to get science in career mode? Get science from around KSC, Ewok. The VAB is technically a different biome, so you can farm a lot of science. I got plenty of science in here. Alright. Truck is in position. Let's get the SSTO out. I got more thinking juice for this mission. Yeah, the science truck is cool. What happened to your tracking station? It's the tier 2 tracking station. There's nothing. Alright, Voyager's ready to go. Voyager's ready to go with Liberty Lab. Can't make this easy, can you? You can thank the U.S. Army for this. I kind of copied their design. This is a Kerbalized version of the highly expanded mobility tactical truck, or HEMTT for short. The Army, the U.S. Army, the Marine Corps, pretty much any department of the Fed, they all freaking use this thing. And it can do that. It can just pick up trailers and put them on the back, which is actually pretty rad. It's supposed to be a HEMTT. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the Army is the one that figured this one out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's an 8x8, dude. It's exactly like a HEMTT. See the PLS systems all the time at work. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, here I'll show you what it's based off of. Yeah, HEMTTs are really cool. They're like a Swiss Army knife truck that the Army uses. Swiss Army knife that the Army uses. There they are. They have configurable pallets, and they can basically pull the pallets over their shoulder, right, so to speak, and yeah, and lug whatever they need on the back. And that's not the only thing that they can do. There's all different types of variants of this thing. There's bridge laying, like there's a bridge laying pallet. There's just a dump truck pallet that you can put on there. That one doesn't have the configurable pallet. That's just straight up a dump truck. But there it is, moving a military Connex. There's one with the Connex again. Humvee on the pallet. Just a container, I guess. They can carry Patriot missiles too. Yeah, they have a Patriot missile attachment. It has a fifth wheel on it too, guys. Yeah, there's a fifth wheel on top of the pallet jack system. I'm pretty sure you can only have one or the other. You obviously can't do the pallet and the fifth wheel at the same time. But yeah, they can. The HEMTTs are cool, man. It's a really cool truck. They can do all kinds of things. There's not an S&R. There's a recovery pallet right there that has a little crane on the back. There's a HEMTT carrying a Thor missile, which is very weird. HEMTTs have even been used to carry spacecrafts around. Suborbital ones, but still. Yeah, they have the CWIS on it. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, there's a a 12 by 12. No, a 10 by 10. Not a 4 by 4, not a 6 by 6, not an 8 by 8. There's a 10 by 10. There's one that has 3 wheels in the back, yeah. I love seeing them drive up and down from the 5 from Pendleton to San Diego. Yeah, exactly. It's a cool truck. The Hemmets are really neat. It's got a big frigging diesel in it, and then a transmission behind that, and then it goes to a transfer case, and that transfer case goes to the front wheels. All the wheels drive. Goes to the front and rear wheels. So, yeah, Hemmets are really cool. They're heavy, and they don't go very fast, but, I mean, this thing can literally go over anything, any terrain. It's designed for military mobility. You could go 8-wheeling in this thing, and it'll make it up the side of a damn cliff. There's the jet tanker variant. There's one that carries around aviation fuel. Never seen one with a turret on the top of it like that, but that's pretty neat. They have all different variations for this. There's the recovery one that has the crane on the back. It's cool, man. It's a cool truck. That's why I chose it. Because in Kerbal, you need this a piece of equipment like this is actually super frigging useful. Like, right now. What are the ones that the Russians use? That's a KAMAZ. The Russian one is, it's a 6560. Yeah, that's a cool truck. That truck's in SnowRunner. Same idea. Same idea. Those are cool. Those are really cool. I mean, it's a freaking 8x8, you know? I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find stuff that this thing will hesitate to go over. Like, look at that thing, man. It's a beast. I like the Hemmets, personally, but that's a cool truck. I'll bet you can get one of these for less than a Hemmet, though. But then again, there is military surplus, you know. You can buy Hemmets if you want. I think that one with the turret was from Arma. It is. It's in spin tires. Wave thrashed. Yeah, the KAMAZ. Yep. Dude, the Hemmet. If the Hemmet was in spin tires, it would be cheating. The Hemmet. It's heavy, so it makes great traction over all the wheels because the thing's heavy, especially the front wheels. But the thing's like borderline tank. And the idea is that because you got a diesel with a reduction gear in it, and then you have, you know, military grade axles, right? Obviously, on top of that, Hemmets can go over anything. Watch videos of those things off-roading. It's kind of like, oh, okay. Like, forget a Jeep. Screw the Jeep. The Hemmet will just go over everything. They're all over the place, Kuro. You can buy a military surplus. They're everywhere, man. Yeah, they're really cool off-road trucks. Okay. We're gonna have 20 G's left over. Let's hope this mission works. Tatras are cool too, yeah. I've wanted to get a Unimog. Yeah, Unimog. Cool. Good taste, Fall. That's a cool truck. I want to race these.
I just bought this 1980 International Scout 2. They're getting pretty hard.
Hey, Derek. This is one of my favorite YouTube channels. I remember this. Yeah, the International Scout. That was one of the last years for those things. You want to race International Scouts? They're cool trucks. Those are cool trucks. I'd prefer a Bronco from the same year, but then again, most people did, and that's why they went out of business. No, labor union dispute is what killed this Harvester, which really sucks. What? That's not what you linked. Oh. That's weird. Oh. Flykin, I clicked on that link and it somehow went to the suggested video right away. I was gonna say, ViceGrip's one of my favorite YouTube channels. ViceGrip is like Pudding's Fab Shop, Flykin. Yeah, same thing. Same idea. You'd probably like that channel for what it's worth. Ooh, pre-war cars. Dude, these things... You know I'm not one to be like, those things are dangerous, but these any like 1910s, 1920s, 1930s cars, those are sketch. Sketch. You're basically driving around a go-kart with a V8. I need a fun commuter car. What should I buy? Preferably reliable. How far is your commute, Menk? Yeah, Mank, I need to know a little bit more. 15 miles twice a day. An MX-5, MX-5s are fun as hell to drive. Are you, okay, so let me put it this way. Are you worried about fuel economy, dude? Mostly highway. And you want a fun car? Dude, a Mustang. Honestly, Mustang, Camaro, Challenger, those are fun. It's miles per gallon, though, but you're not commuting very far. You could have fun with a FRS. Or the Toyota 86, that's cool. BRZ, those are fun cars, man. Well, snow is the thing. Right on. Mustangs aren't too bad in the snow if you know what you're doing. An Accord Coupe, I saw a couple people say, Honda makes a good car. An older one, you know. Civic Si or Corolla. Yes, Civic Si, you'd probably like those, Mink. Those are pretty cool. How much do snow tires actually help on a Mustang? Nah, dude, if you got to deal with snow, the Stang is taken from somebody. I don't drive my Mustang in the winter. It's about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop in the winter. That, and I don't want to drive it in the winter. I mean, you could get away with it if you know what you're doing, but yeah. I learned something cool about old carriage-like cars. Seeing them on an actual highway is giving you the wrong impression. Seeing those things on dirt roads and off-roading, that's what they're made for. Because they're older than roads. Precisely, Loopy. Yep. Model T is an off-road vehicle. It always has been. Henry Ford knew that when he made it. There's no roads. Seriously, the front suspension on a Model T has insane lateral travel. Because what roads were paved in the U.S. in 1903? There's no paved roads. Ain't no paved roads, man. That's not how that works. You're right. That's correct. Watch the timestamp 40 seconds in. I see it. I see the car getting squirrely around the corner. I watched this already. This is what spurred this conversation. No, it's all good, man. Oh, crap. I didn't put a Kerbal out. So, I need a Kerbal to be able to transfer the science. You had a super click 3.7 earthquake here a few minutes ago. Oh, jeez. Dixie Highway? Yes, yeah, Loopy. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you see him go through the mud. It's actually pretty crazy, dude. Yeah, you know, when people harp on like leaf springs and stuff, you say whatever you want about leaf springs, but leaf springs are simple. They do not freaking break, and well, they do break, but they're super durable off-road. Great for off-roading. Yeah, solid axles, so live axles, like what a wagon has. In fact, leaf springs were not designed for cars. Leaf springs predate the automobile too. Just like the drum brake predates the automobile. Drum brakes and leaf springs are something that came from horse and carriages. I'm gonna have to get a Kerbal out here. This summer I saw both ends of Route 66. Cool, Oriole. So did I. Well, I didn't see the Chicago end. I drove on like 90% of Route 66. I took a right at St. Louis and went to Indy instead. Alright, Crackerjack. Hope you get that figured out. Yeah, Mank, have you considered something like this? Like here. Considered a Focus RS or a Focus ST? These things are good in the snow. And they are in fact very fun to drive. Focus RS, you say? Yeah, Skiri. Let's just say I know a guy who had one of those one time, and I can confirm that they are in fact very fun. Hard to come by, but that's a good thought. Fiesta ST or a Focus ST, dude. Can't go wrong with those things. They're fun as hell to drive. Does a Hemi engine have semi-hemispherical pistons, or is the engine a hemispherical shape? The combustion chamber is hemispherical, Ryan. So the combustion chamber in another engine looks like this, right? Because there's a valve here, there's a valve here, and then the piston is right here. Piston goes up and down, right? This was kind of the design at the time, all right? With the Hemi, it has a hemispherical head. Cylinder is right here, piston's right here, piston goes up and down, right? With the valves here and here. And then this is another important one. The spark plug is right there. It's directly over the piston. Why is this important? Why does it freaking matter? Well, fellas, combustion is what? Combustion, when something blows up, it blows up in all directions. Think of an explosion, right? Blows up in all directions, but the shape is spherical. So making the cylinder head spherical, there you go. It's gonna push down with more force and make more horsepower. Hemi, dude. It was a big deal. And then spark plug being directly in the center of the piston means the explosion starts at the center and goes out. How the flames propagate inside of the combustion chamber is huge. You want to try to get as much of that flame to push the piston down as possible. Nice, Gravioli. There you go. Oh, there you go, Billy. Right on. Focus RS was a really cool car, man. We are flying tonight, Snow, yep. Oh, nice. That's cool, Turkey. Most modern combustion chambers, Ryan, have hemispherical heads now. They just don't call it that. Ford even made a Hemi in the 60s called the Super Cobra Jet, and it was better than Chrysler's. It was such a good engine, NASCAR banned it after 1 year. Really smirks. Sweet, needed a break from studying for my dynamic analysis exam. Oy. Yeah, I did, Vacha. I talked about it a lot in yesterday's Space News, dude. If you want to check out the VOD from yesterday. Why did they ban all the good stuff instead of making it standard? Because that's when racing sanctioning bodies, you know, listen, you know, to the people that whine that they don't have a car that's as good. Yeah, exactly, Spartans. Yep. Yeah, diesel engine, there's a huge hole, or a huge, like, indentation in the piston. Yeah, because of how diesel engines diesel. Engine too good, please nerf. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened in history, Tal. Thoughts on Elon saying it won't be Raptor that power us to Mars? That's the first news I heard of it, Contra. I have no idea what that could be. That's terrible, though. Racing should be about innovation. I know. It was a Q&A with the National Academy of Sciences, Dead Crew. It was pretty cool. I need to get a Kerbal out here so we can grab the science experiments, though, guys. The problem is I don't have any money to... I don't have any more money to put anything out here. Tal, what you touched on there is why a lot of people don't like Formula One anymore. Because Formula One used to be basically make whatever. People in the 70s were rolling out with cars with 3 wheels, cars with turbine fans attached to them. Like, it used to be about who can make the freaking nuttiest thing and who can use the engineering the best to their advantage. But, you know, they started regulating against that. Oh, that's too good. You can't use that. Or, oh, this doesn't work, or that doesn't work, or this isn't allowed. And now every car looks exactly the same. We regulate ourselves into stagnation, which is also happening with the real automobile. Have you ever noticed how that every car looks exactly the same, just with a different logo on it? There's a good reason for that. The race strategy is still cool, and that still does make it fun to watch. I'm not going to pretend like it's not fun to watch. I still enjoy it to an extent, but yeah. If you're going to have a spec series, have a spec series. Pretty much. Alright, I gotta get a Kerbal out here. We gotta be so careful, dude. I at least have to get this thing up into space so we can at least make some cash, man. I've never been in F1, but I started watching that Netflix show, hooked on season 2 now. Yeah, Drive to Survive is cool. Is the day they outlaw gas engines the day you stop watching F1? Depends. If you outlaw like a piston engine, like an internal combustion piston engine, and maybe replace it with like a hydrogen internal combustion engine or something, that would be kind of cool. I'd be on board with that, or like jet turbines or fuel cells or something. It depends. If they banned it and said no, you can only use electric now, I'd probably be like, all right, bye, later. I have no interest in this in any way, shape, or form, so I can't afford jet truck. Oh my god. Yeah, they do hype up a lot of stuff, don't they, Hellfish? They're going towards non-fossil fuels in F1. All right. Have fun having a sport that's less fun to watch then. Somebody showed me a picture of it does doodles at one time. The pad is fueled snow, yeah. Bonk. Yeah, it's gonna scream. Buck. Alright, guys, nix the fuel things. Guys, space. Please. There we go. That's a lot of science experiments. There's a lot of them, right? Formula 3, Formula 2, or spec. There's a bunch, dude. V8 supercars. Yeah, Killer Alpine. I'm gonna see if we can load that into the science lab. I'm wondering though, do we need Kerbals to do that? If we need Kerbals to do that, then this mission might be a little weird. But, figure it out. Any ETA on the launch? Well, this just needs to go over here, and then, yeah, we're good, Yoshi. I'd say we're probably about 30 minutes out, something like that. Legends Racing. There you go, Dead Crew, yeah. I just want everybody to take note of the absolute unit of a vehicle this is. Everything went good. It looks like the stage made a soft splashdown, be honest. With no live feeds, though. Bolshoi Chunguska. Ryan, I don't really want to talk about cars right now. I know, it's a very rare thing. I really gotta focus for this. Alright, now ESU here. Collect all. Okay. All 125 science experiments are loaded into the SSTO. Next thing we're going to do is go over to the pad, and we're going to put the pad into the integration position. Okay, we are unlocked. We're going to make sure we activate the LT main and TE main sequence controllers. Actually, deactivate the TE because we're not using it right now. LT main sequence controller is at the zeroed position, paused in the forward position. We will now play the LT main to move the launch box into position for integration. No more crane. The big one has the crane somewhere else, Inky, because there's a lot of parts in scene. I didn't want to add an extra 500 parts of crane. You know what I mean? Actually, to be fair, it's actually 342 parts, but still, point still stands. Launch box is moving into position. We're gonna mate the SSDO to the back of the launch box here. That plugs into right there. And then once we do, the launch box, together with the transporter, or the erector here, not the transporter, will turn this thing into the vertical position. Once it's in the vertical position, we'll be good for fueling. Yep, it's the launch box. See? You can tell because of the way it is. See? Set the timing on the controllers to be correct. Okay, disable the controllers. Both the controllers are in the disabled state. Now we move this into the lock position. Okay, launch box and erector are into the locked position. We are good for a rollout here. Oh, I fizz warped. Why did I fizz warp? EJ, have you made sure that the payloads won't slide around in the SSTO when you turn it vertical? The real question you should be asking, Ewok, is why would I be putting it vertical if I was worried about that? See what I'm talking about? You're thinking about it the wrong way. I wouldn't be putting this thing out on the pad if I wasn't sure the payloads were good to go, right? You don't, on a train, you don't make sure the caboose is ready to go before the engine is ready, right? Mile, you can be in the jet truck. It's fine. I've tested this part of integration a lot, actually. Bill is fine in the jet truck. It's okay. We could do it with no people on it, and I'd prefer to do it unmanned, but it doesn't. You can. I just made that mistake on my sandbox save, and my SSTO went boom. That's not very NASA. Also, no cabooses anymore. Would you trust Jeb in the jet truck? Sure. Caboose. Yep. Bonka. I didn't know that, right? Alright. It's fine, Facha. Yeah, man. Yeah, the Russians did do that ASAT test, by the way. But yeah, like, dude, I can't talk about it without people getting bent out of shape about things. So yeah, that's why I was like, dude, look at the space news thing. But yeah, they did. It's, I don't think it's a good idea, but hey, I ain't them, so whatever. I said people, dead crew. Am I not a person? What am I to you? Am I your damn circus animal? Then shut the frick up now. I keep it real, son. He's fine. He has a special safety plate in between him and the jet engines. That's 80% more safety per safety, guys. Ugh, so critical. Dance, Cloud, dance! Dude, all Bill has to do is just put his hand out with a sandwich on a stick and you're good to go. Alright, let's put Voyager out here. At the alignment breaks up. It looks like we got one of the landing gears stuck in a rut between the two fuselages, and we're not centered. Stuck. One of the freaking ends of the engine nozzle is stuck on the fairing, but it's not, but it also is. Go for a realignment. Okay. Now the alignment system should work a little bit better. Okay. One last thing I gotta check here. Okay. Vessel characterization is correct. Okay, we have a soft capture and we're locked in. Okay. Erector clamp. Air brakes down. Erector clamp is in position. Okay. We can undock the jet truck now. Yeah, Jonathan, I saw it. It looks like it bounced around just a little bit, but that's okay. What are the air brakes for? Lifting it up and aligning it. How fast is the jet truck? Yes. Okay. The next step here is to retract the gear. Okay, now TE controller and the launch box controller are now unlocked. We will enable the transporter erector controls at this time. LT controls are enabled. Alright, reverse the LT controller. Forward zeroed on the TE controller. Alright, let's turn it upright. We go for verticalization. Hydraulic systems are now loading up in preparation for verticalization. Pitch indicator is going positive. Pitch rates are going up. Of course, Paint. Something like that, Johnny. This SSTO is not the biggest vehicle I've ever made, but it's one of the most complicated because it's an end-to-end thing. Other rockets, I've made bigger rockets than this. But those bigger rockets would just, you put on this launch pad over here, and you hit the spacebar and you go. And then, even if I had bigger rockets come back down and land, you'd still recover them. This thing is not the biggest one, but it's by far the most complicated because it has its own launch pad. It is fully reusable, guys. That's what I'm pushing for. Full reuse. Dehorizontalization. I like that, Elhu. Damn, that is a sweet launch pad, you might say. Round, negative. Number 9, going vertical for the 3rd time in its career.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Johnny, this is freaking awesome. Thanks, man. I'm glad you like it. That's 5 months, dude. Thanks, buddy. NASA, you're hired. 3 Soul, you know what the 5-head move was? I had people from NASA help me design this. That's the 5-head move. No, don't design launch pads for NASA. Have NASA help you design launch pads. Right? It's not that. I'm just like Elon Musk, bro. It's the same. I'm glad you like it, Alex. Right on. No, I have NASA design my launch pads. I don't design launch pads for them. No, there are people that work in the industry that watch the stream that do help me with some of the harder things to solve. But yeah, this is mostly my design. Like, I came up with like, okay, I want to make it do this, right? We need to make it do this, 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 and this, right? But this is based off of a NASA design. It's based off of VentureStar. Yeah, with a bit of help from Lockheed. Yep. What's the biggest thing you've made? Neptune rocket from back in the day, Ewok, is pretty good. Pitch rate is reading 64. We're 2/3 of the way up. Peter J. Big. What's Peter Big saying? Best seat in the house. Teams are fishing the stage out now. That's cool. Okay, we got some slight bending on the belly side, on the windward side of the vehicle. That's okay though. It's fun to hear the SpaceX rocket engines test down the street from her house. Oh, McGregor, right? I know a bunch of people that work there, Alex. I know guys that work on I know the guys that are hitting the button to fire those engines. That's cool, man. Hell yeah. Texas is sweet, man. Freaking Longhorns, man. I like hill country a lot, dude. The first time I went down there, it was 2012 for the Formula 1 race. Every time I go to Texas, I have a good time, dude. Every freaking time, without fail. Oh, we gotta close these fuel tanks out. Ooh. Yep. Okay. We didn't do payload. We didn't do closeout on those fuel tanks. Gotta be careful. I teach robotics in Waco. We have a lot of students with parents there. That's cool, man. Hell yeah. Oh, you teach robotics. Oh, you're probably digging this. So I had to do some mechanical engineering of my own to figure this out. I used the center of mass of the vehicle, center of mass of the SSTO with no fuel in it, wherever the dry COM, right? I had to figure out that, and I used moment calculations to figure out distance of the hinge to where the erector points and pulls it up, and where the robotic where the hydraulics would be on the back to pull the launch box down, dude. Yeah. Oh, I did. Yeah, I did all the mechanical engineering calculations. Robotics, same idea. Robotics is just mechanical engineering, man. It's cool. But yeah. And I go through that. And Alex, what I do is I use this to teach people how space programs work. I obviously don't play Kerbal like, hey, put it on the space bar. Oh, it blew up. Even though that's fun. Like, I do enjoy that, right? I use Kerbal to run a space program. But I show people the end to end. It's not just aerospace engineering. No. There's mechanical, electrical, there's pneumatics, there's hydraulics, there's all kinds of stuff going on. There's HVAC, there's, everything, dude. I show people the end-to-end solution. Like, this thing, I've designed, I built a hangar for it and everything. We haven't implemented it yet. I don't have enough cash. I don't have enough cash on hand for the hangar, but I have designed it. I have hangars with cranes on them that can pick stuff up and put it in the payload bay and whatnot. Yeah, it's pretty damn cool, man. I wish my students were disengaged in the world of science. Well, that's why I stake my claim. I stake my claim here on Twitch, Alex, because you know, kids are gonna go and they're gonna watch people play video games, right? Hopefully they stumble into this stream and I sucker them into learning something. Oh, if you're younger, sorry. Hey, it's cool though. Is it not cool? Is it not cool? Would I steer you wrong? I wouldn't steer you wrong. This is dope. This is awesome. I love this stuff. Sibe's like, I learned something. You mean it's all a lie? Okay. Check that out, guys. 89.9. We're good to go. Spoiler alert. Everybody says the rocket needs to be pointed straight up, but nobody says why the rocket needs to be pointed straight up. So, if you're a little bit familiar with trig, this will make sense. If you're not familiar with trig, I'm going to sound like I'm speaking Japanese, okay? So, the rocket needs to be pointed exactly straight up because when you initially launch, you have to be basically coplanar with the acceleration of gravity, but in the opposite direction. If you're not, the vehicle will have a cosine thrust loss inhibited on it. Basically, what are the rocket engines doing? The rocket engines are pushing against gravity. They have to push against gravity with a force that's greater than 9.81 meters a second per second, or 32 feet per second, right? If the rockets can't push up with enough force to counteract gravity, you're not going anywhere. So consider this. If the rocket engine is pointed straight down and gravity is affecting this way, so the rocket's pointed this way, gravity's pointed this way, if the rocket is pointing right through the force of gravity, right, it's going to use all of its thrust to counteract gravity. If the rocket's pointed this way and gravity's pointing this way, right, pointed like this, it's only going to use about 80% of its boom boom that comes out the bottom of the thrust. It's only going to use about 80% to counteract the force of gravity. What this will end up doing is it'll inhibit a cosine thrust loss, and some of the thrust of the rocket engine will be used to push it this way. And the rocket will do what Astra's rocket did the other day. It'll just go off the pad and go sideways. So everybody says you got to point the rocket upright, but nobody ever says why. You got to point the rocket upright because if it's not upright, not all of your engines are going to be used to counteract the force of gravity, and your rocket will take an efficiency hit. If your rocket engines aren't being used to counteract gravity, what the hell are they being used for? A very good example of this, right, is right here. Take a look. So watch this. This is a documentary from NASA about the shuttle program, okay? There's one specific angle I want you guys to see. This one, right here. This one that looks at the shuttle when it's lifting off. Now, I'm going to put this in 2x speed here because we got stuff to do. But watch. So the shuttle, when it takes off, it actually slews off the pad a little bit. It does exactly what we're talking about, but there's a good reason for it. It does that because the shuttle engines are pointed that way because you can't point straight down. If you point straight down, the shuttle will do this at liftoff. It'll basically do a front flip and crash. Don't want that. So watch the SRB. I'll leave my mouse cursor right on the raceway of that SRB. I'll just leave it right there, and as it lifts off, look. Moving that way. See? Shuttle slews off the pad because those engines, because they're pointed out, take a little bit of a cosine loss. So the shuttle actually goes this way off the pad initially. The reason why it doesn't keep doing that is because the lift that's generated from the shuttle's wings actually cancels that cosine loss out. And the aerodynamics take over, and then it starts going in a straight line. The shuttle drift-oos off the pad, straight up. That's why, if you look at the SRB flame trench is rectangular. It's not a square. It's rectangular because the shuttle goes this way. It's going that way off the pad. Every single shuttle launch did this. If it didn't do that, physics would no longer exist, and you would have a very bad day. That means something else has gone horribly wrong. But yeah, that's what it does. It has a cosine loss. Exactly what we're talking about. That's why you got to point the rocket straight up. If you don't do that, you're going to go this way, and the rocket will do a barrel roll, and it'll try to use the boost to get through. But the thing is, it'll use the boost to get through Earth, and Earth is a lot more stubborn than the rocket is. So it's kind of a thing. Hey, Alex, thanks for the sub, man. Welcome to Mission Control. You go at throttle up. All right. So, we got good alignment indicators here. Rocket is in fact pointed straight up, so we don't take a cosine thrust loss on liftoff. I prefer my reality with physics. Yeah, dude, me too. Yeah. Dude, oh, you guys have questions about the shuttle? I got you. That is my wheelhouse. I love that thing. I have an unhealthy obsession with it. It's kind of weird. It's a little strange. I'm not going to lie to you, but yeah, you got questions about the shuttle? Or Falcon 9, Starship? Dude, I spend my days reading about those. Like, way too much reading. Alright. Okay, so we're going to disable the launch table controller because the vehicle is upright. We don't need the launch table to move now, so I'm going to make sure that that's not being used. Switch it back into the forward position. And now what we're going to do is the erector arm is going to come down, and once the erector arm is down, we should lock the pins out on our hinges for the launch table and the erector, and once we lock them out, that's when we're go for fueling. So let's undock here, retract the extension docking, or the erector docking port, and we should be go to move this into the downward position. Reverse the TE main controller, and the erector will now move back. Atlas V does that in certain configurations too, correct? Yes, Jam. The slider configuration, Atlas 421, which is, or no, 411, excuse me. Yeah, it's called the slider. There's a reason why it's called the slider. The exact same reason. That's not Photoshop, guys. Atlas V can actually launch with one SRB attached to the side, that's cool. The ULA, the company that owns that rocket, calls that one the slider because it slides off the pad, just like the shuttle did.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
STS-127 was a gorgeous launch. You have a favorite launch in terms of visuals? I like STS-1. Because white tank. Aesthetic as hell, man. Were you able to learn why your rockets in KSP keep exploding? I've troubleshooted that problem pretty sufficiently. Yeah, wholly asymmetric thrust. STS-117, I was there for that one, Moto, so I'd have to say that I like that one. I watched 116 from my porch in Florida, which is pretty cool when I lived there. Mile, you want to hear something crazy? Atlas V, most of Atlas V's launch configurations have asymmetric SRBs because of the infrastructure on the core stage. Yeah, check this out. There's 401, 411 is what I just showed you, 421, 431, 501, because Atlas can carry 6 different types of fairings. There's 3 fairings that look like this, and there's 3 fairings that look like this. So there's 501, 511, 521, 531, 541, and 551. Nice, S. That's cool. Yeah. Atlas V launches asymmetric all the time, and in certain configurations, it does kind of off the pad a little bit. You can kind of see it, but it's not as apparent as the shuttle. Not nearly as close. Not nearly as apparent as the space shuttle. But yeah, pretty nuts, huh? What was your last IRL launch? NG-11. And Antares launch was the last launch I was at. That bothers you on an obsessive compulsive level. Yeah, I know. That's cool, S-Master, yeah. I watched 117. Nah, I wasn't on base. I wasn't cool enough. I saw my first launch last month with Starlink 2.1, but no visuals, just fog. Oh, yeah, Moto, out at Vandenberg. Dude, I drove out to Vandenberg a little while ago. I drove out to the train station. I saw a Slick 4, which was cool. But, yeah, Vandenberg, that marine layer, man. Yeah, checkered the Astra launch. Oh, shoot! Yeah. Bro, that... I still can't believe that thing got out of it, checkered. Can you believe that? So, Astra's launch in that clip. Here, I'll show you guys that clip. This clip does contain profanity. I think it warrants exclamation, though. I was, yeah, watch this.
5,
ignition should be
4,
at 2.
3,
Watch
2,
this.
1, ignition, 0.
First motion.
First motion.
Oh, shit! Well... Well, alright. And then look. Go, baby, go! Yeah! Fly, you freaking piece of junk, let's go! Yeah!
Velocity
Awesome!
indicator there.
Go! Get up there! Go! Get up there! Yeah! Awesome! That's so sick! It made it! Oh my gosh. It wasn't supposed to do that. But it made it, man. That was amazing. Come on. Did this make Twitch fails? Dude, XQC watched that clip. Not that I really give a crap, but yeah. Dude. Oh yeah, no, that clip made... That has a lot of views, that clip. Task failed successfully. Narrator, it didn't actually make it. No hat, EJB, crazy. Yeah, right, yeah. I have a little more hair since then. Not much, though. It's going away. Bald. Any chance you could pass the link? Checkered, link it again in chat. Is that your brother? No. I might have an identical twin, guys. You don't know that for sure. How do you think I can stream so much? What if I had an identical twin? What if there's 2 of me? What if one of them can do all the impressions and the other one can't? There could be. You don't know that. You don't know that for sure. That would explain a lot. Then I'm sorry, Primo. If you had a twin, you'd be evil. Evil, EJ says press space. Alright. The world isn't ready for 2 of you. Okay, you know what? That's fair. Which one's marrying Brimo? Yes. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. We should not have made this bargain. Chat, I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me. Me's. Them. Damn it. That explains Route 154. I'm not sure how, but alright. How do you know that hasn't already happened, C22? You don't know me. Okay. Okay, the TE is in the retracted position. Let's give her a little bit of a jiggle. Jiggle the handle. Okay. Come on, lockout. Yes! We have a lockout on the launch box. Bingo. Lock out the TE. TE is locked out. Disable the transporter erector controller. TE controller is locked out. Main is locked out. You do know me. Alright. Guys, I gotta manually fuel this, so this is gonna take a second, but let's load up my temporary mission log here. RC1. Okay. This is RC2, Rocco Max Conglomerate 2. Liberty Lab. This is a rideshare mission. So we're flying on Jebstar, Launch Vehicle 5, Block 3, version 1.2. We have one Mark 7 SAT bus and Liberty... Liberty Lab Science Module 1. We got 2 payloads, one to Minmus. No, this one's going to the moon first. One to Mun, one captive on vehicle. We don't have a landing date yet. No T0 has been coordinated. Our payload cumulative mass, I didn't tally it up, but it's around 10 tons. Not 100. This thing can't do that. We're launching from Complex 1A. This is the 124th launch from this pad. But first launch from this craft file. I just put this pad out. Nth pad 2. SN09, this is the first flight. We're still operating it in refurbishable mode. So this is the first flight since refurbishment. This is the 3rd flight total for this serial number. Mission description. Mission description is 2 payloads to low carbon orbit, 1 heading to Mun, then to high carbon orbit. After that, 1 captive in payload bay for on-orbit station contract. I like keeping track of every mission just because. More fun this way. Yes, we have mile. I've proved that out. That works just fine. Okay. So last time we had the launch pad to orbit glitch on takeoff. Not sure what caused it. Pad was slightly damaged. Might be related. Alright, that's... We'll figure that one out now. Fueling is probably going to take a little bit, so let's coordinate the T0 time. Year 5, day 331. We're going 00. I'm gonna key in 20 minutes here. Actually, 15 in game should do us right. So 35, 00 35 00 for our liftoff date. Let's go over the mission profile while the vehicle is fueling. But before we do that, make sure that crossfeed is enabled. I actually have to go in here and make sure that crossfeed is enabled on my secondary payload on RC2, because RC2, the fuel cells, I didn't lock out the tanks, so the fuel cells use some fuel. So we're going to enable crossfeed, and the first thing I'm actually going to do is make sure that the payload has fuel in it. It's not letting me transfer fuel to the payload. Interesting. Alright, well, we have a high mission. That satellite has more Delta V than it needs, and honestly, if we hit all 3, we have 3 objectives. One is the captive payload, Liberty Lab, and then RC2, that satellite is supposed to go to 2 different orbits, right? If we hit one of them, we're good. Ideally, it'd be nice to hit the second one, but if we don't, it's okay. But that satellite was way over-engineered to be able to hit multiple orbits, so even losing a little bit of fuel like that, it should be fine. So now we're going to open up the fuel tanks on the SSTO. Once again, because it's reusable, guys, I have to manually fuel this thing. It's going to take a second to get this right. So Rocco Max 16... Rocco Max 16, then we have an ADTP adapter. There's a 3600 tank right there. And then we have an S3, S4 adapter, and then there's an S4 128. And now we should have 4 more S128 tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fueling array is almost ready. And then we should have 4 S4 256 tanks. Okay, all main fuel tanks are loaded up. We gotta close out all the other tanks there. Alright, we are go for fueling. I'm not getting the option to transfer fuel here. Close the docking port part action window. Is there one hiding that I can't see? Yeah, Aqua. She's not fueling. Why wouldn't it? Oh, no. We confused the game somehow. Nope. No glitches. Input locks? I highly doubt that would be anything, but... Nope. Can we reload the scene? Yeah. Yes, I can. Something... Yeah, we're in a safe state right now. We confused the game. Somehow, we did something. You have a non-fuel tank part open somewhere. Well, either way, Yarg, we're gonna have to restart. Let me just go to the Space Center. I also did a fizz warp, guys, so I'm gonna use this time to restart KSP. Alright, let's get just a truck out of scene. Alright, I'm gonna give her a restart here. Let's see what happens. No, Mason. I have to monitor. It's really important to monitor loads while fueling. It requires my attention. Don't ignore fueling. The one time I ignored fueling, the SSTO bent off the pad and almost blew up. You're getting inconsistent results. Sometimes it explodes, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. I'm gonna give KSP a quick restart, guys, and we'll go from there. What's the name of this music track? QED, right in chat, dude. With a timestamp. This is the Satisfactory soundtrack, dude. Kind of annoying. So we were messing around with a docking port mod the other day, just to see if I could get better results with this, with the docking ports being held together, and then I took it out, and I have a bad feeling that this might be some residual crap from that mod, but I don't know. $1,800 parts for anybody interested. Recommendations for a Coca-Cola and Mentos rocket? I have a cardboard tube that is 30 cardboard. No. Just take a Coke bottle, put DC and Mentos in it, close the cap if you can, and then run. Okay, we're back. Let's see. You're not telling them about bottle bombs, are you? Bad, EJ, bad. It's Diet Coke and Mentos, Jim. A rocket that, you know, you use to teach children with. Oh, I said close the lid. Jim, is it entirely possible that I could be preoccupied here with something else and I may have misspoke? Is that a reasonable possibility? Is that a reasonable possibility here? Honest question. No. Nice, man. Nice. Thanks, Dick. Why isn't this fueling? She's not fueling, guys. Docking port's broke. All right, let's bust out KML. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Teams are currently troubleshooting here. This is a utility. This is a utility tool that'll tell you if there's broken docking ports like that. Well, no. Oh man, that thing is really broken. There it is. Oh, jeez. Gotta repair all the docking ports. Something's very wrong with that graph file after we uninstalled the module manager, but I think fixing the docking ports will... KML is a tool that you can use to fix stuck docking ports and weird stuff from happening. Give me a second. It's called Kerbal Markup Lister. Yep, all the docking ports are good. So take this persistent file, copy it, go back over here, mission mode 2, paste the persistent file, replace the original one. I did back it up just in case. And now let's reload KSP. Kind of, Hooch, yeah. It's called NZXT Cam Hooded. CAM. That's a cool wallpaper. Where did you get it? NASA. That's a real picture. Clutch, isn't that neat? Okay, Ed. Excuse me. What took that picture? Soyuz. There you go, Truid. I need Kerbal to work for me. See what happens, you know, when you run into mod compatibility problems, etc., etc. This doesn't work. It's just, I need Kerbal to work. I can't be distracted with mods, trying to troubleshoot mods. Nobody wants to sit here and see me, like, fix that and make sure that works. Wouldn't film cameras have issues in space? Issues like what? Yes, Hibbit. Talk to Drummer, Hecker. What account is it? Thanks, Bill. Hey. Good to see you again, buddy. How are you? Feel like we haven't talked in a while. Илья, привет. Как дела? Здорово. You're fine, just busy. How are you? Yep, we're good. We're good. Let's do this. Controllers have troubleshooted the sticky valve issue. Do we have the undock function? We have the undock function, baby. Let's go. Controllers are resuming the fueling procedures here. This means we can fill up the payloads too. Was it worth repairing the rest of those errors? No. I have not a theory. Mason, I know that all those other errors are being caused from the game not really understanding that the two vehicles are docked together because the docking ports don't have the dock flags on them, right? So I have a theory that when we undock from this thing, it should fix it. Well, it's not really a theory. I know that's what's going to happen. Worst case scenario outcome, we we get what we got last time, where it doesn't understand that it's separated from the pad, and I just basically warp it into position. Which, yeah, I mean, it's annoying, but that'll work. Best thing is that we can fuel the payload now, too. Did they turn on the FSE on and off again? Well, I turned it off, hit it with the hammer, and then turned it back on again. Okay. Now what we gotta do is go into the payload dispenser. And we gotta enable cross-feed on the payload dispenser here. Okay, crossfeed is enabled on that decoupler there. Now let's do this, and this should give us the option to fuel it. Oh, can't fuel the payload. It's attached to a panel. Nope, I wouldn't be able to refuel it. So yeah, we're kind of stuck with the limited payload or limited fuel, because fuel cells obey crossfeed, or fuel cells don't obey crossfeed rules, but engines do for reasons. Okay, no problem. Now we should have fuel. Okay, we are go for fueling. Right now, 1,000 tons of fuel is being loaded into the vehicle. Not all at once. Chad, are you, we're going around the horn? Everything's looking good here. Fueling procedures are looking good. Yeah, I don't want to fill out the mission log while it's doing this, because it's important to watch the vehicle when it's being fueled. Fueling in real life on a real rocket is one of the most dangerous parts of the mission. I'm serious. You wouldn't think, right? But when you fuel up a rocket, sometimes, you know, you're putting explosives, liquid explosives into the freaking rocket, right? And not only that, but they're cold. And you got to be careful, The reason why you got to be careful is because, you know, a lot of rockets use liquid oxygen, for instance. And if you're not using liquid oxygen, you'd be using, like a hypergol or something, which is poisonous, right? You got to make sure that that doesn't leak. But if you're using liquid oxygen, two things. Liquid oxygen is super corrosive to everything. You think salt on the roads makes your car rust? If you dumped liquid oxygen on your car, there'd be no car left. It'd go right through it. It rusts stuff really, really, really badly. So you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful with the liquid oxygen. Two, everything is really cold. So you're like, when you're fueling a rocket, you're pressurizing tanks, right? You're pressurizing tanks. You're bringing the temperature way down, and that's causing the entire rocket to contract because it's cold. So you're changing a lot of things. It's a very dynamic environment that happens pretty fast, especially if you're SpaceX, right? Because they fuel in 30 minutes. 30 minutes and go, right? So this kind of dynamic environment, when you fuel it, is called transients. It's going through fueling transients. That's super dangerous. You ever notice how, like, you see people near, like, walking around a rocket when it's fully fueled, like the space shuttle. They put astronauts near the space shuttle when it was fully fueled. Or you see people walking around an empty rocket, like during integration, right? But you never see people near a rocket when it's being fueled. Don't be near it when it's fueling. That's the most dangerous time for the rocket. Like, I would contend to say that flying the thing is safer than that. It's probably not, but you gotta steer clear because of those transients. And I'm not necessarily looking for temperature changes here, because temperature is not that big of a deal in KSP. But what I'm looking for is I'm watching the rates here. So pitch, heading, and roll. I'm making sure now we're moving a lot of weight onto the vehicle. We're loading it down with fuel. And when we do that, that is changing things. That's true for a real rocket, right? But it's, you know, it's something that translates over into Kerbal correctly. So I got to be very careful. We're loading 1,000 tons of fuel into this thing. 1,000 tons. That's not an exaggeration. The SSTO is 1,300 tons when it's fully fueled. It's 300 tons when it's not fueled. So, yeah, I got to make sure that Kerbal understands that we're loading 1,000 tons of fuel into this thing. Yeah, you gotta be careful, Alex, right? Nah. Oxygen is a good oxidizer. Who knew? Right? Okay. Fuel tanks are topped off. Chat, we are fully fueled. Let's coordinate a new T0 time here. There's no fuel around here, Kelly. There's no fuel reserves. I can't even drill the pad. There's nothing. I tried. It sucks. I got a Kerbal seed where there's no resources around here. Okay, we're moving up T0 to T-minus 30. So T-minus basically 3 minutes. Actually, you know what? We can go. We're at 2609. We can go to 29 here. So new T0 time has been coordinated by the mission director, me. And we're at 2613 past the hour, so T-minus 2 minutes and 45 seconds in game. First thing we're going to do now is go down here and make sure that we have the proper staging, making sure the staging is correct. Shouldn't be any solid rocket boosters in here. Next thing we got to do is go down into here, and we have to check on the engines. So we're going to do an engine chill down here and thrust vector control checkout on the vehicle. Basically, that means doing this. TVC checkout is underway. Thrust vector control checkout, and I'm arming the engines because I fire the engines up while the thing's still on the pad, and then I let it go. So we gotta check the gimbal. So yaw, left, right, that works. Pitch, forward and back, that works. Roll, left and right. Okay. TVC checkout is confirmed. Engines are thermally conditioned. So now, what we're gonna do is be very careful at liftoff. Holy shnikes. Okay, first stage is pressed for flight. Alright, hold on. Oh shit. No, don't do this right now. Chat, get down. I don't want to look. We lost Liberty Lab 2 and the 125 science experiments that were loaded into it.
Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, QED, thanks for the sub, man. Welcome to Mission Control. You go at throttle up. What even happened? I don't know. I've never seen that behavior before, which is why I literally was about to say I'm scrubbing the mission, because I've never seen the back fairing do that. We loaded up the aft fairing too much, dudes. But then again, like I said, I've never seen it. I've never seen that behavior before. I was about to scrub anyway. I was about to call it scrub, and I wanted to see if time warp would bend the thing back into position, because honestly, there's nothing else that would have fixed that. unfueling it and unloading it wouldn't fix it. It's colliding with another part. And maybe if I just temporarily had disabled same vessel collision or something, but then the SSTO would have fallen through the launch box because it's so damn heavy. Bill's fine. That was the first thing I checked. Bill's okay. Guys, we got a big problem. I got no money left. I got no money left. There's probably like 200 G's, maybe 300 G's worth of scrap here. That's about it. Let me check the fault tree. Wing connector E, collided into Fat 455 wing. Where's the fairing plate? Yeah, fairing plate, there it is. What did it collide into? Big S aerospace tail fin. Well, that's not how I wanted tonight to end, fellas. I was about to call the scrub. The docking port like that, I mean, I knew that even if I'd separated from the pad, the second I separated, it would have just blown up. Like, that hurts. That hurts a lot, man. Ugh. Frick. Yarg is a pretty similar result, but what is your so-called solution? Let's see. Changing scenes with a docking port drift is what I think caused it. It's something I didn't do in testing. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Alex. Damn. The science loaded in it too. Oh, that hurts. That's like the worst time for it to explode, man. Man, I'm gonna need some time to recover from this one, guys. This is no good. See if we can look through the pieces. Let's see what we can find. So the pad indicates that the hierarchy separated on the pad somewhere over here because it bent the other side and caused it to bow out like that. Let's check, see if we can see the remnants of the launch box. Yeah, the way the launch box is separated with the side pieces, the sides of the box out, indicates that the fairing collided. the holder fairing that's on the launch box collided with the fairing plate on the back, which, yeah, see, Airstream shell collided into the big S spaceplane tail fin. ADDP collided into AEFF3 Airstream protective shell. Yeah, the back of it, the back of it crack and strike. See, Fat 455. The Fat 455 wings basically broke everything at the back, but it wasn't them. The Fat 455 wings don't have same vessel collision enabled on them. Just the fairing plate does. The fairing plate broke. Yeah, we basically loaded it up too much. And I'm willing to bet that comes from time warping. But then again, I've time warp fuel loaded this thing before. I've done it. I've loaded fuel that way before. But I didn't leave the scene and come back and then load the fuel. I did it all in one shot without leaving scene, coming back, restarting the game, etc., etc. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that that's probably the reason why. And I think you're right. I think restarting the game because of that docking port glitch is the reason. Every other successful launch of the SSTO that we've had didn't require restarting the game while the thing was on the pad like that. But I also didn't. This is what I mean about watching it when it fuels. You got to look out for stuff like that because that happens. It's not grounds for a reload, guys. It's not grounds for a reload. That's behavior that was... It's behavior that you haven't seen. This happens. Guys, it's behavior that I didn't catch. This is what happens. You guys people can say, "Oh, it's a game glitch," but NASA doesn't freaking blame it on physics. Oh, it's a physics glitch when something goes wrong. That's the lesson that you learn from mission mode. You know, we're not testing enough. We put it into an unknown mode by restarting the game and then going with fueling anyway. I should have noticed that. I should have noticed what it was doing and I should have scrubbed it. In fact, I was about to do that, and the first thing I was about to do that, and I did an impulse reaction to try and time warp to bend everything back into place, and that proved to be way too hasty. So I made a mistake. I screwed up. I think that restarting the game is what did it. That's the only variable, guys. That's the only thing that I haven't tested. I've never restarted the game, messed with the docking ports like that, because that docking port has never fused before. I've never done that. I never did that before. And I'm going to blame, honestly, the root cause of this is the fact that I decided to install that mod because those docking ports hadn't fused since I installed that stupid thing. So, yeah, this one's on using the mod. So if you said I shouldn't have used that mod the other day, that was the right call. Doom, that's not what's going on at all. It's not that, dude. I used a mod that tried to strengthen up the docking ports to avoid problems like this, and inadvertently encountered this problem because the mod put the docking ports into a state where I had to fix them, so I had to restart the game. But like I said, we got a bigger problem, dudes. I don't have any cash, and I lost all my science experiments. They blew up. I'm really screwed. Yeah, that was a do or die scenario, and I failed miserably. But hey, that's spaceflight, man. Not everything's a happy story. Really could have done without that. And I said this when I put the stupid mod in. You know, we put the mod in, we tested out the stupid hanger, and then I said, look, putting that mod in could give me behavior that I haven't tested previously before because all of my equipment was tested without that docking port fix mod. Boom, there you go. Oh, man, did I freaking screw the pooch. It's not really how I want to end it. How I wanted to end Kerbal tonight. Okay. You hurt yourself too much. I would like you to reload and have a good time instead. That's not the point of this. That's not what it's supposed to do, man. I agree with Hellhook. Well, yeah, cool, guys. You know, it's also, you know, just because you all agree on shoplifting something from a store doesn't make it okay. Rules are the rules, dude. If I don't obey the rules of the save, what the hell's the point of the rules? You live and die by the sword, man. That's what this is supposed to be like. It's supposed to illustrate how much it sucks when you screw up. That's the whole point. You know how violent that strike needs to be to do this to this pad? This pad is able. I built the pad from a hierarchy standpoint to be able to withstand like a nuclear blast. These things have 50 meters a second impact tolerance, which means something struck the SSTO. That Kraken strike was powerful enough to cause a collision speed higher than 50 to 60 meters a second, and then blow up the pad right after that, which is. Yeah. 1,000 tons of fuel. And all the fuel tanks that had fuel in them blew up. Boy, does that suck. Alright, well. Yeah, no, Alex, if it blew up the pad too, I'd be done. That's it. Failed. Start over. Oh, man. Oh, God, this hurts so bad, man. It hurts so much. Chat, help me. Oh, gosh. Alright, we gotta pick up the pieces. Oh. I lost my $1 million launch pad and $500,000 SSTO, man. Oh, what am I doing? We can always bring the small SSTO back to work, which is pretty much what we're going to have to do. It depends on how much money I have here. 1.2 is the magic number to get the big one working again, but it's just a goddamn shame, man. Hey, sometimes it ends good where I nurse the SSTO on a crazy glide slope and we get it back. Sometimes it doesn't, dudes. That's mission mode. This is very bad, though. This is not good. This is really, really not good. Like I said, it really depends on how much cash we have here. I encountered a loading problem or a structural problem during fueling that I've never seen before, but I also needed to restart the game because the SSTO had a fused docking port, and I encountered a problem that I've never seen, so I restarted it when the SSTO was on the pad, and doing that changed something. You usually try to do it all in one go. Kerbal, the simulation in Kerbal breaks down over time, guys. If you the more you reload the scene, the more it doesn't like it. The more stuff bends out of shape. It sucks. It really, really sucks. But this is behavior. This is behavior that needs to be understood. It needs to be understood, and I need to. Yeah. It sucks because I loaded 125 science experiments in. That took me an entire stream to get 125 experiments. I loaded 120 science experiments in there, and I lost the payload, the pad, and the vehicle. That's like nightmare scenario, man. Oh, whatever that was, it was worth some cash. What about you? Okay. We've passed the threshold to get the small SSTO pad back up and running, which is good. Do you upload your stream to YouTube? I do, Max, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, man. This sucks. Sucks a lot. But hey, that's, we want to push the envelope in KSP like this. That's what happens. It is what it is, dudes. We'll figure it out. I'll take ownership of that mistake, and yeah, we'll go from there. We lost about 700 grand. Ooh. Ooh. Damn straight, Eagle. Damn. 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 Oh, that sucks so much, man. I'm not mad. I'm just like, alright. That could have gone better. That could have gone better. Can I go get some ice cream? I need ice cream. Pokes EJ with a last shaped stick. Yeah, What do you want? What do you want? Did you see my question about your feeling of a reload if it were back to the save you made before you installed KML in the first place? Installed KML? What are you talking about? This is not very big chilling right now. Yarg, it's not KML that's the problem, dude. It's that module fix. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, the docking port thing. So the docking fix. Yeah. But like, Yarg, the thing is that I did all this testing I did all the testing and I paid for all the testing, right? If I reloaded it pre-persistent save, I'd get back money that I already spent on testing, you know? Like, then that's lame, dude. There's no... I can't... Like, you don't have an out when your fucking rocket blows up, dude. Your out is fix the frigging problem and friggin' make sure it doesn't happen next time, dude. That's not a good lesson to teach. You said you made a hard save before the mod in case it had problems. This seems like what it was for. $700,000 seems a tad low for the price. Is KSP based off of using dollar value from the 1960s? These aren't dollars. those are flurbos. I don't know. It's no. I mean, if you guys wanted to do that, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I can load up the persistent file, that pre-module manager fix. Or docking module fix. Yeah, Fang, that's kind of where I'm at, dude. Like, yeah, guys, it's always the last like 10% of the marathon, dude. That sucks the most. That's the hardest part. I'm not canceling the SSDO. Screw that. I've worked way too hard on it. I will press it into service and it will work, but damn, dude. We don't lose the crane progress per se, Ewok, but genuine tough question. Do you feel the stress of all this for both yourself and chat is equivalently the quantity of... Do you feel that the stress of all this versus the quantity of education provided difficulty space programs versus the education that you could do with Sandbox or a different rule set? Mission mode wasn't designed to be easy. Tron, yeah, no, yeah, it sounds stupid, but I like this. I really don't mind it. I'm not, guys, I'm not annoyed. It sucks. Not annoyed. I'm not even mad right now. It's a hell of an explosion, you know? that was a bad one, you know? But, you know, it can't be all sunshine and rainbows, man. Like, this is going to make, when the SSDO works, even better, you know? It's just a persistent file, Yarg, that I have loaded. It's not the craft files. That's the thing, man. Like, I ain't rolling back, dudes. No, we'll figure out another solution. Streets closed, pizza boy. Find another way home. Can you check on other ships to check docking ports? Yeah. Yeah, Loopy, I guess. I'm just not sure what the persistent file is. That's what I mean. What does the persistent file have to do with this? What does that have to do with it? It's not the persistent file that caused this problem. It's not the persistent file that caused this problem. It's the docking ports. I don't... So, okay, I revert. I go back. We load up the SSDO. It does the same thing, and then it blows up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know... Like, how do we fix this problem? Inadvertently, Jack, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. I'll make sure that I have this loaded up. Yeah, I can load the persistent file, remove the SSD on the pad, and restart. I think people here are confusing craft files with persistent files, to be honest. No, anarcho-fascist, this isn't their fault, it's my fault. Yeah. Alright, let me go over here and I'll just leave this the way it is for a second. Okay, where did I put that persistent file, though? I don't know where I put it. Nope. Wait, where did it go? Oh, shoot. Oh, no. I made a folder for it in the extra folder. Super extra KSP backup. Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So this was an autosave file, so let's go here, copy this thing, go in here, paste it, replace the file in the destination, and we'll see where this loads us. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, Loopy, like, once again, guys, I'm not mad. I mean, either way, we'll figure it out, you know. Yeah, figure it out. And we'll go from there. You could if it had the right docking port, Jay, and Starship has a configurable payload bay, so yeah, maybe eventually, sure. This is before the mod, Checkered, this one. Remind me to never screw with mods again. Ever. They can screw with the behavior of already engineered things. That's such a stupid idea. Why did I even consider that? What the hell was I thinking? Oh, that's easy to say in hindsight. Yep. Yeah, here's what we were testing. Payload changeout facility. Yeah, there's the PCF, Jeb truck, and the SSTO. Alright, so if I recover all this stuff... Yeah, we were at 1.4. Ewok, I won't make that mistake again. Thanks, Subsonic. Let me look at some of these craft files. Let's see if they're still broken. Of course, Max. We had 1.2 when we started the stream today. Do we have broken stuff in here? Yep. Nope. Those just are locked or invalid parts. Yeah, see. Unknown part modules. Module docking node fixed. Damn it. And all the craft files are exactly the same. Does this save have the fixed big chungus? Yeah. Well, guys, here's the thing. I have to do the testing for the OPF again because the testing that I did was to test for the node fix, so I think it would kind of be prudent to keep this cache and just do the crane testing again. You know, I think that would probably be a good idea, but, I mean, that still doesn't make up for the fact that I should be out like $1 million. How about if I revalidate everything and show that it all works? You know, we'll just kind of keep going. I mean, I don't want to sit here and pretend like this is, you know, okay, right? Like, it's not... I screwed up. There should be some kind of penalty for that, but I don't know. I guess would I have screwed up if I freaking modded the thing? Like, if I didn't mod the game, that SSTO would be in space right now. But then again, I still think I should have a penalty for that. If we want to, so like per the mission mode rules, if it's a not seen glitch, right? If it's something that we've never encountered before, right? You can reload. But this glitch that I haven't encountered before was because I changed the physics. So I would still say that is still my fault. I screwed up. So maybe yeah, I think eating the cost of the crane would probably be a good way to offset that. There's no simulation fee, Hebrew. You do it once, do it right, or you fail. You know. Like, but I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? If I eat the cost on the crane, that's the penalty for, because it's like I'm partially responsible, but I'm partially not. Like, per the rules. And once again, these are mission mode rules that I made a year ago. My rule set. It's right here. If a game error happens, mission needs to be restarted. Otherwise, no reverts or quick loads allowed. Boom, right there. Eligibility for reload is subject to vote if we wanted to do that. Right? That's part of my rule set. A penalty vote needs to happen? No. That's too complicated. I think eating the cost on the crane is a good way to take the penalty and it's like accepting or declining a penalty in football. That's a good way to take the penalty and, you know, continue from there. Maybe it could be that the mod changed nothing and that this is a new bug. Jindex, if that's the case, then I'm in real deep doo-doo because the thing's never done that before. And I didn't change anything with the SSTO. The SSTO and the pad crap files haven't changed. They're the same. The only thing I introduced was the docking node fix, you know? But I also don't want to make it look like I'm weaseling out of the penalty either. That thing blew up on the pad, and it is my fault, you know? Like, Fang, I can say with pretty reasonable conviction that it was installing that mod. Yeah, that's what caused it. Installing the mod broke the docking ports, so I had to reload the scene. I had to restart the game when the SSTO was on the pad during a launch campaign. I've never done that before, so I introduced something new into my countdown sequence, restarting the game. And that was the only thing I've done differently from launching Voyager on the pad 2 times previously. We did the exact same thing. I never restarted the game the other 2 times, though. It was one continuous launch campaign, no game restart. That's the only thing that was different. I've been working on the crane, right? The OPF for the SSTO. But the SSTO design was frozen. I stopped working on the SSTO. The SSTO works. We know that it works. So I was using the crane. And then the pad also works. We know that that works as well. So that's the only thing I introduced that was different. Restarting during the launch campaign. Which, yeah, that's what screwed stuff up. Reloading the scene in Kerbal is what causes inconsistent behavior, guys. If you don't reload the scene, the physics behavior stays actually super consistent. Reloading, time warping, stuff like that can break the scene. But also at the same time, the other thing is that I've done time warp fueling with the SSTO. The other 2 launches that I launched it had time warp fueling, and those worked just fine. So once again, what's the difference? The difference is that I reloaded the game. So there's your fault tree. Reloading the game because I had to fix a couple of docking ports with KML during the launch campaign is what caused that problem. That's the only thing I did different. I agree, Predominant. I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Nah, Benno. I've used KLM in this to fix fused docking ports plenty of times. It's never caused that problem before. Then don't do it. Brace for the hardship, roll with it, and get beyond it. I'm kind of with you on that one, Predominant, to be honest with you. I don't want to... it blew up on the pad, guys. There's no getting around that. Now, I still will reload the old persistent file so it fixes the docking port glitch, but nothing else has changed on that. The only difference between this file that I have loaded up right now and the one that we were just at, the one that we just deleted, right, because it had problems, the only difference is the docking port fix. That's the only thing. And we're out about $1 million. I'd say here's where I'm at, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's where I'm at. Figure it out. So now we have a good save. I ate the cost of that failure, and everything should be fixed. That, guys, I'll be honest with you. I want to do it this way. So we'll drop the save. Take away 30 more K. It was 454 before. Man, you're really a piece of shit, aren't you? Jesus Christ.
Discovery, go at
There you
throttle.
go. Done. Swindled me, you piece of crap. Remember, this is your fault. Your fault I'm doing this. We could have a constellation program going, out to Duna by now, Yarg, but no. I want you to do something different. Jack off. I really don't want to play summer car. I'll be honest. I don't want to. I want to go to sleep. You guys mind if I just do summer car tomorrow? Is that okay? It's already 12. You know what? Screw it. Now let's play it. Screw it. Let's go. All right. Yeah, it calls all this and then rip into you. What a dick. All right. Let's play summer car. What could go wrong? Oh, no. Why do I do this to myself? Yep. 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 Well, hopefully you guys are having a better day than me. The SSTO, the big SSTO Hellfish blew up on the pad, destroying the pad, the payload, and the SSTO. Yep. I lost Voyager. I lost number 9. I lost science that I had loaded into the stupid SSTO. 125 science experiments, man. It's pretty much a nightmare scenario. Yeah. But hey, we'll bounce back. We'll figure something out. I'm thinking, though, redundant dissimilar capability might be something we want to pursue in the future. Oh, boy. Yeah, Max. I don't know. I can't believe I screwed up. I can't believe I screwed up, man. Like, that's entirely my fault. I screwed up so bad. I'm sorry, guys.